Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You have tuned in to another edition of the Sports Shop 27. I'm your host, Jermaine Coulter. And to my far right, we got KJ, Kevin Johnson. And today's special guest, we got former University of South Carolina Gamecock,
Top.
wide receiver, runs a
Yeah, man.
4.23, the fastest Gamecock in school history.
Okay. All right.
From Noonan, Georgia,
On the
played
speed.
with the Cleveland Browns, and also played in the CFL.
All
We
right.
got the speedster in the house tonight. They go by the name of Corey Bridges. What's good,
Corey
Corey?
Bridges. What's up? What's up?
Audio.
Unmute yourself.
Still can't hear you.
There we go. There we go.
There
All
we
right.
go.
We
Let's do
back.
it.
We back in there. Man, y'all get me
Back
all
in there
hype. I'm
now.
ready to run through a wall. I like
Yes,
that
sir.
intro.
Let's do it, baby.
Yeah. You know what I'm
Y'all
saying?
boys got the Bulldogs this weekend. I know you want to
Yeah,
come to the
Yeah, man. We
Gamecock
got to turn
country.
it up, baby.
You know
man.
it.
Look, woo, we got a big
Something
weekend.
heavy, man.
Big
We got a.
weekend.
Yep. Yep.
So,
Yep. I'm
so
excited,
Corey,
man. What's up?
for everybody that don't know you, let them know where you from and a little bit about your background.
Man, I'm from I would say small town, but we grew pretty good right
Yep.
now. I'm from Noonan, Georgia.
hmm
Born and raised. Went to Noonan High School. Played everything: football, baseball, basketball, ran track. Uh, I mean, after Noonan, I came to South Carolina. Football scholarship, ended up running track too at the same time, and had a pretty successful career in both, I would say. And a lot of people don't follow track too much, but I was a SEC champion in '60, so I'm trying to figure out a way to get in the Hall of Fame because I was the first sprinter at the university
That's
to
right.
uh, to bring a SEC championship to the school. But we're working on that. So anybody out there can
It's
put the
coming to
word
you.
in. I would really appreciate that.
Yeah.
All right. All
All
But
right,
right.
yeah,
man.
man, end up leaving South Carolina. Cleveland was one of my destinations. I also played with the Vikings, the Browns, the Dolphins,
Okay.
and the Bears. So practice
Dang.
squad. I was a practice squad guy. Didn't see the field, but
It's
hey,
all right, baby. Hey,
I'm
you still was
five.
in there.
Yeah, yep, yep. 5'6", 165, 170 pounds. That ain't bad to make it into the NFL.
Oh
So
yeah.
Correct.
Hey.
that's
So
what's
so
up.
what age? So what age you start playing football? And was football your first love?
Actually, baseball was my first love.
Oh, okay.
Baseball, yeah, yeah. So I was a pretty decent baseball player too. So, played in high school,
Shortstop.
all state. Uh, I think I might have made all state in just about other than basketball. I made all region and all county in basketball, but
Okay.
Dang.
to make a all selective team in every sport, I thought that was pretty cool coming out of high school. Whether all state, all American, all county, hell, my bad. I mean, uh, cuss like that. But
Okay, that's all good.
just yeah, yeah. But other than that, man, I'm excited to be on the show. Uh, I know y'all. Last time I saw y'all saw my 300-yard drive at the golf course. So
Yeah.
That's how you do your thing. Yeah. You got skills, man. You got skills.
it didn't go straight, but it went 300 yards.
Yeah. So, so
Man,
was
long as you
football your first sport? Was it baseball? Which one did you play
Baseball,
first, and
actually,
what
yeah,
position?
baseball my first sport. Funny story about baseball. The first time I went out to baseball, uh, we go to tryouts, right? So I get out there, like, all right, let's just put you in the outfield. All right, cool. So first ball ever, well, the first ball that came to me, I was gonna say I caught. The first ball that came to me hit me right in the head. So
Dang.
I went off the field crying. I was like, I want to play
don't
baseball.
want to
They
play
took me
anymore.
back out there. All right, well, let me play infield. All right, bet. All right, first ball, ground ball came to me. Right after I got hit in the head, there was a rock, and it hit a rock, hit me right in, you know where. So two balls hit to me. One hit me in the head, and the other hit me in down there.
in the cup.
I was like, yeah. So I was like, all right, that's it, baseball. You know what? Let me go be a catcher.
All
So
right.
coach like, all right,
That's
put your head,
angry.
put the catching stuff on, and here, put this cup on. So I'm walking around like I got a cup. I'm the man. So I get behind. So they throw in BP. First pitch, ball tip, hit the ground, hit me right in the cup. I was like, that's three balls got hit three times. The baseball ain't for me. But but make a long story short, I kind of came out of that little rut, ended up playing baseball. It's pretty, I was pretty decent at baseball player. Made a few all-star teams. You got a couple couple invites to some, nowadays it's like showcases, but back when I played, they had like major league teams would invite you to camps and to
Yep.
showcase to something because they really wanted to
Yep.
scout you. So I got invited to a few camps. They just wanted me to see how fast I can run and see if I can hit. So had some interest in the draft when I came out of high school, but I'm from a small town and football is king. So not much love coming from the baseball side, but everybody was like, man, you play football, you need to play football. So, you know, yes, football, I love football. I wouldn't change it. I always say that I should have kept playing baseball, but nah, football was everything to me when I came
Yeah.
up.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
So when you was a kid, what famous athlete you looked up to, man, to help you out with your craft?
Oh man. I mean, the big wigs, it started off at like, you had Walter Payton, Eric Dickerson, because I was running back. And then by the time I got to my senior year in high school, somehow, I didn't grow too much more. So they decided to put me at like a slot receiver, but still played a little running back. So I started watching film on Jerry Rice and uh, guys like that kind of just paved the way for receivers. I thought I was 6'2" and 6'3", but that 5'5", 5'6", just didn't look 6'2" or 6'3", but I tried to play like I was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about baseball though? You looked up to some players in baseball also?
Oh man, yeah. I mean, again, the big wigs. I mean, like I was more of a Braves guy, like you know, Hank Aaron, like in my era, like Dale Murphy, Claudell Washington. Uh, I pitched a little bit. It was like Phil Negro. Uh, I mean,
Gotcha.
Ricky Henderson. I mean, Ricky Henderson was my guy. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
That's who I kind of like at the time modeled my career after.
Okay.
And then I also got a chance to, Bo Jackson
Oh
and
yeah. Oh no.
Dion was a couple of years. Yeah, Bo Jackson and Dion was, a few years ahead of me. So it was just like they was it. So I just kind of kept my eye on them and kind of like, because they both played baseball and they both, they played baseball, football, and they also ran track. So,
Hmm.
uh, so I was like, I need to be like this. So,
That's right,
uh,
man.
other than that, man, that's who I kind of like, swore up and down who I was at the time, but I was still who I
That's
Yes,
right.
sir.
am.
So tell us a
Yep.
little bit about growing up in Noonan, Georgia, back in the '80s and in the '90s, or before you came to South Carolina.
I mean, it's the South, right? Small town South. You know what you get out of that. So,
Yeah, for real.
but it was cool, man. I wasn't, I wasn't a bad kid. I don't think I have an enemy. I don't think I still have an enemy other than DBs that
Man,
I've, kind
that's
of burnt.
good.
But, I think I got, a lot of respect back in my hometown. Uh, you know, a lot of people really, as you get older, you start to realize that you kind of impact the community. Uh,
Mhm.
a good bit because I'm 47 years old and I can go back there. It's like hey, what I mean. It does make you feel good. Nuna has its ups and downs. It was a small little town,
Yeah.
but I stayed in sports, so that kept me busy from kind of getting in the streets. The streets wasn't. I still to this day, the streets really ain't anything that they can't
Yeah.
help you. It can't
Yeah. I
help you
can't.
do anything in life. All it can do is just kind of, regress you a little bit. But,
Yeah.
I did have a little bit of taste in the streets, and the crazy part about it was, there was every small town back in the day had that big time guy who, so not necessarily the legal pharmaceuticals, but
Yeah.
he had,
Yeah.
he was a guy. I kind of, got out there and started hanging with some guys and whatever, and he pulled up on me with the big coupe with the rims and everything, and told me to get my, you know what, off
Yep.
these because you got a future ahead of you. If you need anything, if I catch you on these streets again, I'm
That's
gonna
right.
tell your daddy. I'm gonna tell your daddy.
That's right.
So
Okay.
other than that, man, I was like, you know what, Mister, uh, I won't say any names, but Mister Guy, I would listen to you because there's stories, that circle around town about things he did to people before that, they wasn't no longer around. So I didn't want to be that type of person, which I knew he wouldn't. But at
Oh
the
yeah.
same time, he was looking out for me because he know what the streets was about. So, again, I kind of like had a cup of coffee, maybe like a couple of weekends on a corner with a couple of my homeboys, and then it was just like he found out, he came straight over there like, if you don't get your, home, I'm gonna
That's
call
right.
your daddy, and I ain't want my daddy to find out. So, other than that, man, he was that guy that came to the games with all his boys and bet money on how many touchdowns I scored, and I got a little bit of the profit when I did score.
Oh yeah.
So, so, so as long as I
All
did
right.
right by him, and and then obviously, I had a strong family background, man. So, I had all the support in the world. So, again, I didn't have an enemy, right? So it was just like we ain't gonna let this kid, who's a really good kid, get up in the streets. And I had a big brother that kind of kept me at bay too. But as a teenager, you want to kind of be like independent and start doing your own thing.
Yep.
But at the same
Yep.
time, you don't really know what's really going on, especially at
Yep.
a 15, 16-year-old kid. All you know is, you know, I
Yeah.
want the gold chain like everybody else. I want to have the trip like everybody else. But that don't mean anything. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So uh, other than that, man, I had a pretty, didn't I don't think I have a fight other than on the field. Uh, again, I don't think I have an enemy in this world. Um, you know, I just, I felt like, Noonan it's a pretty cool city, man. Without a doubt. Uh, but I think it has, every small town has its flaws, especially being a young black African American.
Oh yeah.
Uh, uh, but hey, that's in the past, and I am who I am.
Yes, sir.
It's a
Make
good
sure
one.
you guys subscribe to the YouTube channel. We have today's special guest, former Gamecock wide receiver Corey Bridges. We
Uh,
also subscribe on Spotify and Deezer. So, Corey, talk about the high school years. You go in as a freshman. What
yeah.
position do you play? And do you
Ah,
start on varsity, JV, or B team?
so funny. All right, so my freshman year, I came in. They had me. Well, when I came out of middle school, they had me at like outside linebacker, probably about 5'2" at a buck 120, right? So then, I played baseball, so I could sling it, right? So they was like,
Yeah.
well, we run the wing T, so you're gonna be our quarterback. We had a quarterback, uh, excuse me, about 5 to 6 years prior to me going there. His name was Dexter Holiday. He was about 5'6", 5'7", and he was amazing. He ran the option, led the state and this and that. He was just that guy. So they figured they'd have another Dexter on their hand. But I messed around and grew an inch, and they put me at quarterback my freshman year,
Oh.
and then
This is varsity
yeah.
or
So I
JV?
was at quarterback. No, this is ninth grade. So check this out. So they put me at quarterback my ninth grade year. We had a scrimmage, and we always had like a little tight end. I did my thing when I ran the ball, but I just couldn't see over the line. So I was like, all right, how about let me play running back? All right, cool. Played running back. They moved me to varsity. No, they moved me to JV for the next game for JV. So
Okay.
JV, I had 3 carries for like 200 yards. So we was on an 80, and I broke every time I touched the ball. So he was like, all right, you're on varsity. So about the third or fourth game, about the third or fourth game in varsity, they messed around and let me get a carry. And let me tell you something, I never been so scared in my life. Our starting tailback was Marcus, I think his name was Marcus Woods, and he was probably about 6 feet, 6'1", 6'2". He ended up signing with University of Utah, and he's about 6'2", 6'1", 6'2", about 190 pounds. To me, that was huge back in the day. And they messed around and gave me a carry my freshman year, and I grabbed the ball, but I didn't feel the ball. But when I got hit, I fumbled. So it was just like, all right, you know, we'll spot play you a little bit. So I didn't play too much my freshman year. I spot played a couple times. Probably had about 6 or 7 carries my freshman year, if that. And then I was the future, and so what happened? My sophomore year, I end up starting, and it was curtains after that. So I ended up making like All American. I think it was crazy because my first touch my sophomore year was a wheel route. They used to bring me out of the backfield. It was a touchdown. And then after that, I think I might have had 100 yards in game, 100 plus yards every game after that. So I was a little scat back. And then, junior year was just, even more crazy. Uh, senior year, I mean, it was, we had a pretty dope little team, man. We was like ranked number 6 in the country. Uh, we were number 1 in the state. I mean, we had a pretty dope little team. I think my senior year we had about 11 or 12 guys assigned D1. So, I wasn't even the leading rusher my senior year. Well, maybe I wasn't that because we didn't play but like 3/4 a game all senior year. So we had a dope little team that kind of like we're pretty well known, that whole little team back in my hometown. So we
Mhm.
were
All right,
considered
cool.
one of the greatest teams to ever come out of that.
Wow. So after high school, did you get to play in any All-Star games?
You know what? I didn't play. I didn't get invited to the All-Star game because of my size. And even everything that I ever been through was always talked about my size.
Okay.
I mean, I probably was soaking wet, 155 pounds. And that was technically my knock coming out of high school, before I even signed with South Carolina. Like, we don't know if you'll be able to, hold up with a pound in that running back. Wasn't gonna be a running back. But we had some, you know, and out of the state of Georgia, it's like running back central. You know what I mean? So we had
Yep.
some guys that was ranked, you know, 1, 2, and in the country per se. But I was ranked. I think I was ranked like number 6 in the state. Once at some point, some polls had me at like number 1 in the state. You know how all different types of polls have you at different places, but I think most of everybody was just like, man, he's too small to be, doing stuff like that. But obviously, I didn't let that sink in. I just kept on moving.
So did you
Nice.
win any state championships in track?
Nope, I won a state championship in baseball. Crazy
What?
story. I got another one. So my sophomore year, I went to state in track in the 100. My baseball team also had state playoff game. Crazy
Okay.
story. Talk about pressure. The day that I supposed to go to the state championship, my baseball team plays in the state in the semifinals. 2 buses is in the parking lot. One going south, one going north. I had to make a decision right then and there. I had one coach on the baseball coach standing outside, and another coach on the track team standing on the other side. It's like, what you gonna do? So my my baseball team, I was like, let me go run around, and then y'all play the first game. If y'all don't win the first game, I would drive from Jefferson, Georgia, down to Colquitt County.
Okay.
So because my team was so tight and so close, I was mentally checked out when I went up to the state track meet. So I didn't end up running good at the state track meet because I was so worried about, my team. So what happened? Uh, so this how this the it had got talks to a rich guy that lived in Noonan was gonna bring his helicopter to the state track meet and fly me down to Colquitt County if to play with the baseball team. Uh, but the baseball team ended up winning the first game, and then on my way to Colquitt, before they called the helicopter, the baseball coach called like, "Hey, we're gonna take care of this, and then we'll see you in the state championship." So they actually end up winning. They lost the second game, but ended up winning the series. And they came back and we ended up winning the state championship when they came back. And I ended up, started at center field and won the state championship.
Man.
So,
All right. And so coming out of high school, what schools did you turn down, and why you chose the Gamecocks?
I mean, coming in out of school,
we can't hear you.
hello,
Okay, there we
Yep.
go.
can you hear
So
me?
you said coming out of high
Yep.
school.
It says everything good.
Okay.
You good?
You got me?
Oh yeah.
Good.
Okay. All right. So when I came in high school, I was recruited by everybody really.
Okay.
I committed to Miami, but Miami went on probation. So I ended up decommitting from them. And then there was Penn State, there was Florida State, there was Georgia Tech,
Okay.
and Georgia. So I ended up taking an official visit to Georgia. The receiver coach was just like, "Hey, so here's my story about the University of Georgia. So why I kind of hate them so much." So I ended up going to visit Garrison Hurst, Andre Hastings. I don't know if y'all remember those two. They hosted me, and we had a great time. My position coach was I forgot his name. He said we want to offer you this and that, this and that. I'm like, perfect. I'm gonna commit. He said as long as the head coach offer you, we're gonna be fine. So we go in. Ray Goff was in there.
Back out.
Hello.
All right.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, my wife calling me.
Okay.
Okay.
But I ended up got a chance to talk to Ray Goff, and he decided to tell me that he's going to wait. He wanted to kind of gray shirt me, and he wanted to gray shirt me. So I hold on one second.
All right.
Y'all give me a second. Yes, ma'am.
It's all-
I'm sorry, honey. I got to take care of daddy duties real quick. My bad,
all
fellas.
right, yeah, man. Hey, you got to do
You
that.
good?
That's what I'm talking about.
Yep, yep. Come here, baby. You
For
okay?
everybody watching, go ahead and subscribe on YouTube.
Okay.
We have our special
Give me.
guest, former Cleveland Brown and former Gamecock wide receiver Corey Bridges, the fastest man from the University of South Carolina football team,
Come on.
class of '96,
Yeah, man.
Conquest Bowl champion.
Keep going, man. I heard.
NCAA SEC track champion. I
Man,
mean, the
they
list
don't
goes
stop.
on and on.
Y'all say hi to my beautiful KJ right here.
Hey,
Hey, how you
hey,
doing?
KJ,
Say hi.
What's up? What's
how you
up?
doing?
Yeah, you on the Sports Shot 27.
See,
Thank you for coming on the
you on
show.
sport. Everybody in the world listening to you cry.
Yeah, yeah. You got to get ready for school tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, I'll be back soon. Okay.
Cool.
All right.
All right. So
All
you
right,
get
fellas.
so you get to the Gamecocks. Was Sparky Woods the guy that recruited you, or was it someone else?
He probably didn't hear you, man.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah, he probably whenever he get back stable.
Yeah. Can you hear us?
Give it 1 second.
All
No
right.
problem. So everybody watching, make sure you guys go check out our sports apparel. You DM us. We got t-shirts, hoodies, hats, socks. We got the whole 9 yards coming. You know, it's the season. So we appreciate everybody that's been supporting and everybody that's been subscribing and watching our show. We appreciate everything.
Oh, yeah. Thank
All right.
you.
So Corey, you ready? Can you hear us?
All right. All right. I think I'm back.
Okay, cool. Yep.
You
So
got me?
who was the guy that recruited you? Was it Sparky Woods or Brad Scott?
It's a little slow. It's a little slow right now.
Okay.
Hello.
Try to
Yeah,
Yep.
we can hear
still a
you.
little slow.
Yeah, it's still going a little bit. I think it's. I can hear you well, KJ.
All right, that's
All right. What
good.
about me?
Now you're like real slow motion.
Oh, wow. Like everything's normal on my side if you can see me or hear me. So
Nah, I can't. I
KJ,
can't.
you might want to exit out and come back in.
I still
Oh,
can't hear you,
oh,
boss.
give him an exit out.
Yeah, tell him KJ to exit
Huh?
out and come back in if he can.
Jermaine said, "Can you exit out and come back in?"
Okay. All right.
Yep. All right. Can you hear us?
I'm back. I got you.
Okay.
All right. Cool.
Cool.
All right. So who was the guy that recruited you? Sparky Woods or Brad Scott?
Sparky Woods. It was at the time. It was Coach Hartman. I was the receiver coach at the time. Uh, he saw my film and he was just like, "Look, you coming to South Carolina." So it was a big push between Arkansas at the time, but my whole Georgia thing, basically going back to the Georgia thing, was Ray
There you
Goff
go.
just basically told me, we want to gray shirt you, and uh, we don't, we don't know if you would be big enough to play with us. So we want to gray shirt you, put some, get you bigger, and then we'll try to, bring you on the next year. I'm like, so since I'm technically the #1 recruit in the state of Georgia, coming out of the state of Georgia, and you don't want me to come to school here, that's what you're saying. No, I'm not really saying that, but we're looking for guys a little bigger. So you gonna bring me up here on a recruiting visit just to tell me that you need bigger guys?
Wow.
What type of sense does that make? So I took that to heart, and so growing up a Georgia boy, Georgia fan, Herschel Walker, you know what I mean? Uh,
Man.
I mean, it broke my heart. So I mean, it is what it was. Did I change that I was 5'6", 155 pounds? Nope. But you just put the ball in my hand, you see what happens.
That's right.
There you go.
It is what it was.
Yeah.
But that's my whole that's my bar story I tell people that are Georgia fans.
Okay.
But
So when you stepped on the campus, USC, who took you under your wing? I'm sorry.
remember Ernest Dixon?
Okay.
Ernest Dixon played linebacker. He ended up playing. I think he got drafted by the Saints. Ernest, when I came here, that was my host. Ernest showed me a good time. I had a good visit, and it was just, South Carolina was like, it is what it is. We want you here. Don't talk to nobody else, and you can just sign right here. Like, do y'all play Georgia? Yes, we do play Georgia.
Okay, that's time, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's home now.
But,
So this weekend a little personal for you. I feel you, man. I know you
man,
can't wait.
every time I play. Yep. So, moving on, I don't know if y'all remember, but my freshman year at USC, we played Georgia. I think they was ranked number, 8 or 9 or something like that. And then we had, Steve Tannehill. My first play in college was against University of Georgia, the first game of the season. And I think it was maybe the second quarter. They threw me a post route, and I caught a touchdown against University of Georgia, my first play.
Ooh, nice.
Let's take a look at that clip. Take a look at that clip real quick.
All right, check it out, man.
Shire got the arm back, but never had it moving forward. Tannehill wants it all on first down. Touchdown! Corey Bridges! There's a flag in the end zone, maybe for celebrating, but it is a Tannehill to Bridges touchdown, and the Gamecocks are on the board. That's that showboating penalty, the celebration, if you will. But Tannehill goes up top on first down and a quick strike, 4-6. If you score, get off the field before you celebrate this year.
As a defensive back, one of the things that you're always thinking is after a turnover, watch the big hammer. And this is one man down the field.
Hey, that's funny. Tannehill, crazy funny.
Yep.
Stay ready,
So
Corey.
the penalty was actually, the penalty was actually on me.
Yeah.
Because you didn't see the your number one gesture that I had to the University of Georgia fans because of how they stubbed me. So so it was funny because I got back to the sideline. After I got the penalty, Sparky Woods walked over to me. He's like, "Damn it, Corey! Why you get us a penalty?" And I can't believe you. Sit your butt down right now. He turned around, walked away. Took about 2 steps, turning back around. It's like, that's a hell of a catch, son. Good job.
Yeah, that's what's up.
So all week it just got built up. It was a play called play 46, where the backside X, he ran like an in route. That was a 4 route. And then the 6 route was a post. So, all week they're like, look, we don't know how much you're gonna play, but we're gonna run this play on Saturday. So you just be ready. So it was just, what you didn't see was the play before that. I was actually in the play before that, and I was nervous as hell. I jumped off sides. And then we got
back on.
It all happened.
So talk about being teammates with receivers, the receiving core, Toby Cates, Owens, yourself, Zola Davis. Talk about that receiving core. Brandon Bennett in the backfield, Stanley Pritchard.
Yeah. So
Deuce Staley.
So
Ron Abraham. Two
Keep
or
going, man.
Freeman,
So Brent, I know, right? So
Terry Cousins.
the person that the TCC, the person that sticked out the most, and obviously because he was older, was Brandon Bennett, right? So
Hmm.
well, Toby kept me in check. You know what I'm saying? Coach Toby was a master out there, and I kind of just
Yeah, he
followed
was.
his lead and watched him do what he do. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of just uh, imitated my routes running and how he would catch the ball and just watched everything he did because you need somebody like that in front of you to kind of just, show you the ropes. And, Toby, we all know Toby was a dog.
Oh yeah.
Uh, and then, especially after my freshman year, my sophomore year, you know, I'm sitting in the locker room. Well, after my freshman year, Brandon came up to me. He's like, "Hey," they called me Little C, and Brandon was going to be a senior the following year. He's Little C. You rooming with me next year? I was like, "Bet." Your senior running back who finna get drafted in the league come tell you that you gonna room with him. Oh, you gonna room with him. You know what I'm saying? So Brandon, technically kind of took me on his wings for the next following year. And and then we had Chris, I don't know if y'all remember my boy Chris Alford. So it was
Hmm.
us three in a suite together, me, Chris, and both of them was like seniors, and I was a sophomore, and they was like, "Let's see, we need to keep an eye on you because you're gonna mess around and do something special. So we want to make sure we keep an eye on you." So yeah, man. So that's kind of who we, kind of took me on their wings a little bit when I was there. I talked to Brandon just about once every now and then. Now his son is in college, so I just, we talk every day. Talking about on a Sunday or Monday. Talking about his son game about, what I'm saying. So I remember, uh, you know, uh, when he had his boy, and I was just like, he gonna be special, which he is. I'm pretty sure y'all know what he do down there in Coastal,
Hmm.
but yeah, man. Uh, and then we got you know and my boy Money Me, my boy Money Means, man. Let me tell you something, man. That dude, that's my boy. When I say we had so much fun at practice and in games, just I
Yeah.
mean, dude, it was by far he was the funniest dude ever. I mean, it can be, like I tell people, like, you when we playing on TV, right? Sometimes you playing on TV, they have a TV timeouts, and then you're looking at the
Yep.
huddle, and we just out on the field, just waiting on the TV to come out. But to the fans, it looked like we discussing plays, right? But if we on a away game and it's a TV timeout, money, me and money, me and money, and they're like, man, Arkansas got some fine girls. Look over there. Look at that girl. Ooh, we're looking in the stands trying to check out the girls and everything.
Yeah,
Man,
stand loose. Hey,
oh,
keep
okay.
you loose,
Now,
man.
yeah,
Yeah.
look. Now what play we running again? Man, we're in a huddle trying to check out the cheerleaders, looking in the stands. Like, man, we comparing. Like, man, LSU ain't got nothing on Mississippi State. And the girls, man, oh man, it was you talking the fun. We talking about fishing in the huddle. I mean, everything. We think we talking about football. Mm-mm. You know what I mean?
Yep. Everything
The
but
linemen talk
football.
about hunting. Yeah, we talking about what we gonna do tonight after the game.
Yeah, yeah.
It was crazy, man. It was crazy. We used to play jokes. I remember we played Tennessee. We out there and it was sleeting, it was snowing, it was about 25 degrees. We was at the freeze. And I think Money caught a ball and he caught it. When he caught it, you know what I'm saying, he slid across the ground and got soaking wet, right? Money came back in the huddle. He's like, hey man, don't throw me the damn ball no more. It's too cold. Like, I mean, it was just he was just don't throw me the damn ball no more. It's cold. It's too cold.
Hurt your hands, boy.
Man, dude, I'm gonna tell you something. We got that shaking. Boy, that ball hit your hand. You're like, oh,
Yeah,
no, I don't even want to
woo,
feel it
like
no
a
more. I
brick,
just
boy.
flop. Man.
Uh, yeah,
So,
that's some why my
and
hands
bit,
messed up, man.
huh?
Yeah, I was saying that's some reason why my hand messed up now. Those cold times,
Man,
man.
he came back, man. He came to the huddle. He had water dripping on his nose. I mean, it was snowing around. We can't feel our hands or toes or nothing. It was just like, man, don't throw me the damn ball no more. I ain't gonna catch it because it's too cold out here.
Yeah, for
So,
real.
and then in that same game, we had a formation. It was twins over, right? So twins, both receivers on one side, and then
Right.
but if it's over, the X and Z flip.
Okay.
But the Z would be on the inside and the X would be on the outside. But it was over, so Z went to the outside and X went to the inside. And then sometimes, as receivers will know this, like you play ball before, right? You get in the huddle and they say break, and you be like, oh shit, where did I go? And Money, I saw that look in Money face, and I was like, I know this play. I know I'm supposed to be on the outside. Money, go on the outside. Okay. So it was a smash route. So the inside guy run a corner, outside guy run a hitch.
Okay.
I pushed him on out to the outside. You on the outside, you got a hitch. Oh, okay. I'm on the inside. They threw me a touchdown. That's supposed to be a hit touchdown.
Got right.
I let it. I let it.
It's like you got
I let
Triple
it.
A. Yeah.
Yeah. So I let it ride. I let it ride. I let it ride to meet. To we got the meetings. We got the meetings on Monday. We're watching film. Receiver coach Eason. Coach Eason was a receiver coach at the time. We sitting there. We looking at. So he paused. He looked at it. He said, "Money." Hey, what's up, coach? He said, "You need to look over at your homeboy beside you, punch him in the face right quick." He's like, "For what?" He's like, that you supposed to have been on the inside of that play. And I looked at him. He looked at me. He's like, "You mother," and everything else after that. I'm like, "Hey man, look, you look confused." I'm gonna go
I
ahead and
got
get
it.
this
Don't worry
one.
about it.
So I went on to call the touchdown. I mean, I think we ended up getting beat like by 40 anyway, but I went on and got me one.
Yeah, that's what's up. Hey,
Yep.
talk about playing the slot receiver though, man. That inside going across the linebackers, man. You know what I'm saying? And talk about, that's kind of tough.
I mean, you know, it's pretty tough, man. Obviously, from from the size, it depends. Like, nowadays I'm hot. Like, everybody want a short, fast, short receiver that's fast, and they put them in
Yeah.
different motions. But at the time we was like an I, and then we go from I to for a while. But the slot, yes, you do have to, slot. You can't just be a receiver. You just got to understand, your angles on how to manipulate, the guy that's going to jam you. Because when the guy in front of you jam you, you got another guy right here beside him. So you got to understand. You really got to understand the game and understand the actual scheme of what you're doing at the moment. Because that slide ain't easy. Because again, I always bring my weight up. I probably got up to a whopping 160 pounds in college. But you gotta go inside and crack on some linebackers.
Boy, I'm
I
telling you.
also remember we playing. Yeah, we also remember we had like a scheme called shallow cross. We was playing Tennessee. And I don't know if y'all remember Al Wilson played at
Yep.
the
Oh,
University of Tennessee. He
Linebacker
was
for
first
yeah.
round.
Tennessee.
Lord,
Went. Yeah, Big Al. And
yeah.
I remember running across shallow cross. And we have a saying: keep your head on the swivel.
Oh yeah.
Always.
But I I was going across the middle, and I didn't have my head went on the swivel, and Al caught me slipping. So he probably I do know that I had a concussion. Uh,
Oh yeah.
and I don't remember too much after that. And I was just going across the middle with my head turned, looking back at the quarterback, and he just went through my ear hole. And at the first place, he came up to me after the game, like, "Hey man, listen, you know better to not look coming across the middle." I said, "You got me. You did." So yeah, he pretty much kind of took my whole ear pad and put it on this ear pad was like on this side of the helmet. So I had two ear pads over here after he hit me. But yeah, man, the slide is cool, man. I enjoyed it. You just got to know where to be and when to be,
Where
because
you
if
at?
you slip up,
Yep.
Yeah.
your career can be shut down.
Yeah, I'm about to say
Uh,
it could be the
but
last play, man. For real.
yeah,
You know.
absolutely, absolutely. But you know, you know, but I played, I kind of played everywhere, outside, inside. They even had a couple special plays that I was a quarterback. I ran a little quarterback fumblerooski in the bowl game. I don't know if y'all remember that, but
Okay.
had
Yeah.
a couple of little quarterback plays. Um, um, and I enjoyed it, man. I was just out there just running scared.
Yeah, man.
So talk about some of the bowl games you participated in. The CarQuest Bowl, was that your first bowl game?
Yeah, well, actually, that's the only bowl game that I had, and it was the
Okay.
first, bowl game that school history that we won.
Yep.
It was so dope, man, because it was a CarQuest Bowl. Technically we was in Fort Lauderdale, Miami, and
Hmm.
you got you 17, 18 year old. They gave about $500 per diem. Some guys per diem, was down there for a week. Some guys per diem was gone after the first day, and they just didn't know how much what they was gonna do with us. They didn't have any more money. But
Oh, yeah.
Hmm.
you get your money, and then you practice, and they let you go do. You had some events that you had to go to. They also gave you a little downtime to get out and see some things. But there was a couple of little places that we went that I don't want to talk about. They're not open no more. But we kind of stayed in there a pretty good bit of the time while we was down in Miami.
Cool.
And we I mean we went to some parks, and you know just had I mean it was dope because you got a chance to go kick it with your boys
Yeah,
in
man.
Miami,
Yeah.
uh and just had a good time, bro.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what's up, man. So
Yeah.
your senior going into your senior year, were you all SEC, All American, Playboy All American, anything like that? Because I knew you guys. What, Zola
Out of
Davis
high
and you came
school,
in the same time?
yes, no, Zola was like 2 years younger than me, man. So I came out in
Oh.
97, 96, 97.
Oh.
Okay.
Uh huh.
Zola was a freshman, and I think I was a junior. And
Okay.
Zola came in like, obviously who Zola, who don't know who Zola Davis was coming out of high school, but he was a monster, man. I don't think he dropped. I think he might have dropped one ball in college, and that dude caught everything. He had like something. I mean, his hands bigger than I don't know what, but that dude caught everything, man. And even though Zola was younger than I was, yeah, I still, as a receiver, man, you got to take from everybody. You know what I mean? I
Oh, yeah.
think just watching how Zola attacked the ball with his hands, I just started attacking the ball with my hands. You know what I mean? Maybe with Monty, with Case. I mean, I felt like, you know, I stole everything from everybody to make me who I was. You know what I mean? So if you don't
Mm-hmm.
do that, you feel
Right.
like you just a guy. You don't study other players, then you're not. You're gonna be the same. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's technically what I did. I watched other people. I watched other receivers from other teams.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, run how they run their routes, how they break their routes, how they attack the ball, how they run any type of route, how they got off the line. So
Mm-hmm.
I kind of model my. I didn't have my game. I just took a bunch of guys' game and just kind of made it my own, and just kind of stole from everybody. So
Yeah.
I think as a player, man, you try to figure stuff out and try to do it your way. People study what you do. So if you don't bring other stuff to the table, then you're gonna kind of tend to your ability gonna tend to go down a little bit because people gonna know what you do.
That's
So
right.
uh, that's kind of how I roll with it.
All right.
Cool.
Talk about getting ready for the NFL and playing for the Cleveland Browns.
Um, so so I finished football in '97. I graduated in '98. What happened my senior year? I supposed to graduated in '97, but I ended up graduating in '98 only because I was the number one ranked sprinter in the country coming back for the following year in track and field.
Okay.
So Coach Fry came to me, and we kind of sat down. He was like, "Look, I mean, you ain't had a lot of money in 21 years, so why not just make it one more year, stay in, run track? You're ranked, you're ranked technically number one sprinter in the U.S. coming back the following year. So why don't you just get your national championship or get your SEC championship so you can have that under your belt for the rest of your life because you ain't gonna be able to get it back. So it resonated, on me. Got a chance to talk to my folks and everybody, and I kind of like, you know what? Why not? Let me go ahead. Let me go ahead and put this in history books, and so I can keep this with me for the rest of my life. So I end up winning the SEC championship. My senior, my last year, I end up hurting my back in the weight room. I slipped the disc in the weight room, so I didn't practice track at all during my last year of track. I only ran track meets. So uh, for the indoor season, I actually ran one meet in Virginia Tech, but I slipped the disc running. I mean, not. I'm sorry, in the weight room. Kind of rehabbed it a little bit. I didn't practice, but I ended up running one track meet at Virginia Tech, and end up. I think I might have set the meet record at Virginia Tech, but I also slipped the disc again coming out the blocks. So I didn't run, and I thought my career was over with. So I ended up rehabbing, got myself back ready. So I fell off the map. I wasn't even ranked no more just because I didn't run any meets. I ran in the I ran two races. I ran the trials at the SEC championship to make the finals. I ran the finals for the SEC and I won it. And then I started to practice a little bit, but not too much because my back was just, it is what
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah.
And then I ended up going to Indiana. I went from being ranked like 175th to number 5 to get into nationals. So once I got into nationals, went through trials. I think I might have won my heat in trials, and then got to the finals. My block slipped. So if you watch me run track, my biggest I'll say the biggest thing with me was my block start, and I think I was the best block starter in the country. I mean, I ran against I forgot the guy name down. He was at Clemson. He was like world champ and national champ at Clemson. Green, I forgot his name. He's from Canada. Uh, anyway, I ended up running against him when I was a sophomore at South Carolina, and he was known for having the world best start. So when we ran against each other, he came up to me after the meet and was just like, "Yo, I ain't never had nobody come out the blocks like that with me. So you're gonna be all right." And he was on a professional level anyway. He had won worlds the year before, so technically, I beat him. So, uh, nationals, a block slip. I didn't get a good start, but I ended up coming back and getting second. It was just the sheer will to try to at least win a national championship. But I ended up getting second to. I was the fastest American. I got second to uh, a Jamaican guy. Uh, I forgot his name too. But I can say I was the fastest American sprinter in college. I was obviously the fastest football player in college in '98. Um, but I ended up getting second there, and that kind of still haunts me to this day. But hey, I'm an SEC champion, but I'm a national runner-up, so I'll take it.
Hey, you think you could have took out Usain Bolt?
Man, hell, no, hey, you put me in the 60.
No.
Listen. I can tell you this. If I concentrated on track and then have the football,
Yeah, in the
you know,
way.
I mean, twisted ankles, hyperextended knee,
Yeah.
hips, because you got to understand track and field, every muscle and every tendon and every ligament has to fire in unison. And if one of them is, having issues with tissue, or you pull that muscle or tendon, or have any type of shoulder issue, neck, back,
That's
I
right.
mean, you you just gonna, your body's not gonna accept, getting faster because it's gonna kind of protect itself.
Yeah.
If I felt like if I concentrated on track, like, ran track year round and did stuff of that nature, then would I ran a 9.58? No, but I would have been in a race.
Okay.
Uh, and it goes back to even when they had uh, United States National here in Atlanta. I would go every year, but it was during spring ball. So I would never make the finals because I would leave practice on a Friday
Mm-hmm.
and drive
Yep.
to Atlanta. I'm
Mm-hmm.
sore. You know what I mean? So it's the top 24 fastest guys in the country on a professional level. But then you can get invited from college because if you're one of the top guys at college, you can get invited to it.
Okay.
So I got invited every year. But every year I would go, it was every year it was the Saturday before the spring game. So the week before the spring game, we butt heads all week. I'm a receiver. I run all day. So I would go into, USA's just like completely just like sore. I'm just like lucky to finish a race. But, it was the experience. I come in with the same exact times of all the pro guys. But at the same time, but they've been training for this for, all their life. And, I just, I'm playing football and I go and compete with them. So at the time, it's like, maybe if I, excuse me, maybe if I would have trained year round, this is all I do. And, you know,
Yeah.
I know I probably would have made the Olympics or something like that, Olympic team or something like that. But it is what it was. I wouldn't trade it because football was life and it was everything. I enjoyed. I like the camaraderie with the guys. I like to be. It's just something about being out there, 98 degrees heat, and you see your boy over there beside you doing the exact same thing you're doing. He's hot, he's hurt, he's sore, and you got to pull your weight to help him out. He got to pull your weight to help him,
Yep.
to help you out. And it's just like, what I'm saying? I got you, dog. I appreciate it. You got me. I got you. You know what I'm saying? So, and
Yeah.
we still, and that's just the relationships that we have, you know, and we're gonna keep that with us for the rest of our life, right? That's how I met y'all because Toby was like, "Yo, we're having a golf tournament. Bet I'm on the way." You know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
it's just one of those things where it's just like, we gonna be brothers for the rest of our life. So, uh, and then that's one thing I cherish about it. You know, sticking with football because you got you know 200-300 frack boys that you've met over the last 3 to 4 years at
Yeah.
your prime of your life doing the
Mhm.
stupidest stuff in your life. You're gonna
Tell
remember
me.
that.
That's true.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you go to the Cleveland Browns as a free agent.
Actually, another quick story. So this is 1998. I signed with the Minnesota Vikings. All right, that was my first team. All right. So in 1998, there was a receiver who is pretty much the GOAT of all times right now by the name of Randy Moss.
Randy Moss.
Yes.
Whoa.
And he ended up, he got in a little trouble, and that's why he's like, we're not going to, he probably won't be a first rounder, da 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 da. So I worked out for the Vikings. I think I might have had the quickest workout in Viking history because we got out there, warmed up. They're like, okay, run the 40. Went out there and ran 4.2. All right, you don't need to run that no more. All right, let's run some routes. Run a slant. Ran a slant. Like, all right, cool. Run a go. Quarterback. Throw it as far as you can. He threw it. I called it. Let's go upstairs. Here go $10,000 right here. So I ran 3 routes, ran 140, and we went upstairs and they wrote me a check for 10 stacks.
I ain't get none of that. I ain't get none of that.
So
You was working out for about 2 or 3
so
hours.
yeah. I mean, they were like, man, we know you can run, we know you can catch, we're gonna bring the camp. Bet. So we got upstairs, talked to Dennis Green, bless his soul. He passed. Dennis Green was the
Peace.
head coach. We got upstairs, and Dennis was just like, hey, listen, we're thinking about bringing in two other free agents, and we want, probably either y'all, two other free agents. We're gonna bring them in and gonna let y'all battle out for practice. And I'm like, again, me not understanding how it all works. I'm like, cool, you gave me 10 stacks. I'm gonna put a Viking helmet on. I don't care who you bring in. So, uh, I end up signing with the Vikings, get the training camp. Well, here come April, here comes draft day. I get back to South Carolina, and actually, I'm still running track at South Carolina. It's crazy part. I flew from Minnesota to Disney. They had a track meet down in Orlando, Florida. They flew me to Orlando to run in a track meet, for South Carolina. So I ended up going in. I've been in the 100 in that. But draft day came around, and the media was all, well, man, I don't know, where Randy Moss is gonna fall. He probably won't make it the first round because he's so troublesome and da 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 da. And, we don't know who's gonna pick him up. He'll probably go third or fourth round if somebody want to take a chance. Draft day, and the 21st pick, the Minnesota Vikings select Randy Moss. Really, really, y'all gonna bring it? So so that night after the draft, uh, you know, Dennis Green, he did call like, hey, listen, I mean, how can you pass up? We weren't expecting Randy to go this high. We weren't expecting Randy to be here when we got there, so we went on and took him. So we're not bringing any more free agents in. Okay, cool. Make a long story short, it was between me and Randy Moss making the team. So they didn't bring any other free agents in, which he was honest about that. But I had to compete against Randy Moss to make this team. Uh, the cool part about that was, you know, everything you heard or seen about Randy, bro, is so fabricated by the media. It's absolutely ridiculous. Man, that dude is a really good dude. I mean, you would think he's, out partying and kicking in, and drinking, and smoking, and all that. You would think all you couldn't get that dude to go outside. He would not do. He wouldn't go anywhere. I got him to go to one bar with me one time, and that's it. And when we went, he sat in the back with a hood up, and didn't want nobody to know who he was. And he didn't want to be around a lot of people. He didn't. I mean, he was the coolest dude, the nicest dude. Do anything for you. He was a comedian. He was Randy. He was flamboyant. But anything you heard what the media said about that dude, man, they just, I don't know what it was. They just painted a bad picture for the guy.
Pitching on him, yeah.
But
He
man,
from West Virginia,
yeah, he's from West Virginia, so you know
right?
what it was. So, but yeah, man, he's a good dude, man. We, what I'm saying, we'll, you know, hit each other up every now and then on social media, just say, "What's up, man? Hope you're doing well," and all this type of stuff. But it was, I had Randy Moss there, Chris Carter, Jake Reed.
Oh man, keep going.
I mean, yeah. So I had Matthew Hatchett there, had uh, Pops, had David Palmer. You know what I'm saying? So they wanted me to be like a little David Palmer guy for them too as well. So everything was looking great. So here's the heartbreaking part about that entire story. Randy wasn't even a factor of me making a team. I actually basically made the team. Before the first preseason game, Chris Carter walked up to me and he was like, "Hey, little man, I'm not playing the first preseason game. I just went and I told coach to have you play at Z, have Randy play at X. You're gonna start the first preseason game." I did enough in camp for them to have enough confidence in me to do this. So that Friday before we played on a Saturday, we was doing walkthrough, we were doing pat and go. Even right before we started doing pat and go, Dennis Green walked up to me and was like, "Hey, little man, we about to give you a shot. We just gonna let you play Z the first quarter, first 2 quarters of the half, let Randy play X, and we just gonna, we gonna sling it to y'all. I'm like, let me tell you something. That's probably one of the best feelings, best thing anybody ever said to me, right? So turned around, got in line to do pat and go. Got in line and was going to pat and go. That was a cornerback. He was, faking like he was going to intercept the ball, but he came down on the back of my foot and gave me third-degree turf toe.
Ooh.
I was done. I missed the first preseason game. I had third-degree turf toe. It's the same type of turf toe that made Deion Sanders retire.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yep. So I missed the first 3 preseason games. I just, I got out there the 4th preseason game. Basically, you know how that works. You get back out there, you ain't doing anything. Then, peace out. We're gonna let you go.
Mm-hmm.
So they end up bringing in another, free agent, put him on practice squad. I ended up going to Canada after that. Played in Canada for a little bit. Came back the following year, worked out again for the pro day, and Minnesota was about to re-sign me again until then I actually went to the Bears after that. No, I actually went to Cleveland and then the Bears after that, and then Miami after that. So I played up in Europe, played in NFL Europe. We ended up winning the World Bowl. That was probably one of the best times of my life.
Yeah,
and
that's what's up. Congratulations.
Yeah. Yes, sir. And we won it on my birthday.
What?
Oh, man. Yeah, you turned up, didn't you?
For real. Best birthday gift.
Yep.
New jewelry.
What?
Another ring.
That's what I'm saying.
Yep.
Your hard work pays off.
Yep. So
And
let
we end up hanging
everybody
out with
know
Coolio.
what that.
Remember Coolio?
Yeah, Coolio from Long Beach. Yeah, the rapper.
Yeah.
Gangsta's
Yep.
Paradise. Hey, so let everybody know what the shirt you wearing, bro. Let everybody know what the shirt you wearing.
Yeah, that's C4, baby.
Man, you know what it is. C4, man. I mean, it is what it looked like. You know what I mean? So, it's something special to me. I came up with it, probably about 10 years ago. I was just to start my company. My company is C4 Performance. It means a lot to me because, the letter C represent my name. The number 4 represent the number that I wore through high school and college. And also, if you think about C4,
Dynamite.
that means explosive, dynamite.
Explosive.
So I mean, it matches who I am, matches who I was as an athlete. So I figured it's going to be C4 Performance. So that what kind of that's why I came up with it, and that's what it's going to be. I know there's an energy drink out there right now called C4, but
Yep.
hey, I mean, it is what it is. But
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
C4 Performance.
There you go.
All
right. So let everybody know the type of clients you work with, what type of service you provide. Off season, in season. Let them know what type of facility you working with.
So 100% sports performance. I'm about a 95% athletes and 5%. I say everybody's an athlete, but about 5% of like personal training, like the soccer mom or the dad who want to get in some shape or whatnot. I I tend to train. I train everything really. I think I got a pretty decent resume of guys and girls. That's I can't even count how many Division 1, Division 2 athletes I have out there. Professionally, yes, I train, Kirk Cousins. It's crazy because I've trained a lot of Georgia Bulldogs, Safari's King, Keith Marshall, Aaron Murray, uh, uh, you know, Marlon Brown. I train a bunch of Bulldogs, some Tech guys, some Auburn guys, Sammy Coates, currently, I also trained Kirk Cousins. I trained Kirk Cousins for about 3 years while he was with the Redskins.
Okay, all right,
Uh,
man.
I had a few sessions in this, a few couple sessions in with Justin Fields this year. I had about 4 or 5 sessions with him before the season.
Nice.
I got
Some
let's
good athlete.
see. Oh, I got the best tight end in the game, Darren Waller. Uh, we've been training for a while. Uh,
Oklahoma, Las Vegas Raiders, ATL native.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
All right.
yeah, man. Let me tell you something.
He
That's
had a big game
man,
last
week
week,
6.
Monday night.
Yeah, man. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was there. I mean, Oakland. I'm sorry. Excuse me.
Las
Yeah,
Vegas.
Las Vegas Raiders. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I got
yeah,
to get it
change
off my
up.
tongue. I can't get.
Yeah,
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 that's a
yeah,
culture
yeah.
thing we
You
yeah.
gotta
gotta get
get
used
used to.
to
You know,
I
my
know it,
whole
man.
life been
I
LA or
gotta. Yeah.
Oakland. Yeah.
Woo, you say Oakland out there, you might get a fight.
it.
Oh,
But yeah, man, it's crazy, man. I had to get, went to the game last week. It was pretty dope, man. They put on a show. It's the
your
city of
audio went out.
entertainment. So,
There you go.
uh,
Yeah, you
okay.
good?
So yeah, they
Yep.
put on a show. Yeah, they put on a show out there for me, man. Had a really good time. Had a chance to work with Darren a little bit before the game, the day before the game. That's technically why I went out there to kind of work with him, and then also get a chance to go to the game and check him out, and then get that new stadium. The new stadium is pretty dope.
Word.
Hey, what's the location to the gym? Just in case somebody might want to, come
I'm
to you
in
there.
Kennesaw, Georgia, man. If you anybody in Kennesaw or in Cobb County, I mean, in Georgia, I mean, I do have athletes traveling from. I have athletes traveling from Florida. I have athletes traveling from Tennessee,
They
South
want the
Georgia.
best.
Uh, I got an athlete. I had an athlete that would fly in once every 2 or 3 weeks, uh, just to work. You know what I'm saying? So, uh, I really enjoy my community. The main thing for me, man, is just get into the community, man, and just kind of love on these kids and
Yeah,
show them
that's right.
different types of things to do. You know what I mean? Because this social media got a lot of these kids.
Yeah,
It's feeding
it's
them
messing
stuff
with
that
their
they don't
mental.
need to be fed.
Yeah,
That mental, man, that making them think they're really good, but then when reality hit, it
yeah,
mess them up. Yeah, everybody think they grinding, but when the lights come on, that grind, wait a minute, it don't supposed to be like this. I ain't see it like this on social media.
yeah.
No, it ain't what you see, it's what you do
That's
and how
right.
you respond to, adversity. So, uh, everybody want to win. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So and you ain't gonna win all the time. So and then that's the problem is that they don't. What I'm saying. Social media, uh, it makes these kids think that everything they see is true. Everything they see, it really works. Everything they see is what they
Mhm.
supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? But they kind of lose who they are and then try to follow what they see instead of how to do it. And not they don't really learn anything. They don't really, they see it, but they don't really download it. You know what I mean? So,
Sure.
so all the social media doing just feeding the virus. They don't even, I try to use computer analogies by saying I just want to, upgrade software because your software, you keep putting the wrong type of software in your system. So,
Mhm.
man, that's what I do, man. I try to love on these kids, man, and let them understand that, what I'm saying, you keep working, you're gonna be all right. You know what I mean? Just because it didn't go right, just because, what I mean, you know, you didn't do something right, that don't mean it's not the end of the world. You know what I mean? Because
True. Yeah.
it's it's tough out here. I can tell you this: no way in hell I would want to grow up at this time and age,
I know,
especially being a
man.
16,
For real.
17 year old.
You got that right,
It's,
man.
I look, I commend a lot of these kids, man, because the one that make it out, man, you know what I'm saying, they different, they
That's
different,
true.
and the one that you see so many kids fall by the wayside or get popped up because they see them on, they see their highlight getting tweeted, everybody talking about how. man, that's one highlight. You know what I mean? Do it week in and week out. You know
That's
what I mean?
right, man. Consistency. Yeah.
So consistency. You know what I mean? You can't just live off that one highlight because
Yeah.
those 100, 200,000 followers, they gonna follow you. Then they
Yeah.
gonna unfollow you,
Yep.
and they gonna move on to the next person.
Somewhere in
You know what I
there.
mean? And then you keep messing up, they gonna start talking a bunch of junk about you because they gonna turn their back on you because you're not
And
entertaining
that's
them
right.
anymore.
Press and
Let
everything else.
them know.
Yep.
Yep.
Let them know they fall in love with the results on social media and not the process. In the meantime, they don't see the work behind the process. The
Yep.
sacrifice, the
It's crazy,
hours.
man, because it's crazy because, man, I get like, media people, you know what I'm saying? I feel bad at some point, but not really. I have some athletes, or I have, like somebody hit me up in my DM, like, hey man, can I come, you know, shoot some videos or something at some of your athletes and put like a highlight tape and all that. I said, man, it's cool, and I really don't really allow it too much. Or I haven't allowed it once yet, only because the kid at that very moment would put more effort into looking good for the video than actually understanding what he's actually doing to get himself better.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't allow it because it's going to give
A distraction.
everybody else a false sense of yeah. So then when the camera go off, the kid is just like, Coach, I'm tired. You know what I'm saying? Bro, no, we can't. No, we got to keep working. You know what I mean? So, you got the video with the little baby in the back and all this. And I mean, now, don't get it wrong. Don't get it wrong. I love watching, hype videos. They be pretty dope. You know what I mean? I'm like, man, I went, but it's just gonna give, I don't want no false sense of hope. When you made it when you signed on the dotted line.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So when you sign your scholarship and you get that degree, that's when you made it. But now you got it. Now life is about to hit you too. So I try to talk to my kids, not just about sports all the time either, man. Because I'm almost like a therapist right now, man. Because a lot of kids come in with just you know so much negativity of what they've been through throughout that day, and then it ain't even about anything physically. It's about what they pretty much just watched on Snapchat or YouTube or something like that they done, you know, got in their mind that they don't, you know, that's, kind of throwing them off their path. But,
Mhm.
I tend to try to talk to them, and I just listen to them. Tell you something, that's probably the number one thing for that I feel. That's my own personal. The number one thing that these teenagers need. They need somebody to listen to them instead of telling them. And then when you get a chance to speak your piece, you don't tell them, you're giving the pros and cons so they can understand, right? And you can't be vanilla because they know way more about a 15-year-old because they got access to so much other things than what I knew when I was 15. So they are way ahead. It's like a 15-year-old now is a 25-year-old back then. They know way more. They get
True.
exposed so much.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
but at the same time, you got to kind of pull them back and understand that, man, you ain't you ain't 25 yet. You still
Yeah.
15. You're gonna screw up,
Levels to life
right?
now. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're gonna screw up, but you got to learn from that. You keep doing the same thing, I can't help you, but I just want you to understand. So I think for the main thing, man, for these kids, they just need somebody to listen to them instead of getting fed all the stuff that's coming out their hand with this phone. So so what I do, man, I just listen. I try not to I give them advice in my realm of what my professionalism of what I've experienced,
Yes.
and I try to give them perspective too, so they can understand, like, just because the girl broke up with you, that don't mean your world should come to an end.
Yeah, that's
You know what I'm
right.
There
saying?
you go.
Like with girls,
Good
I
luck.
got 3 daughters. I got 3 daughters. You have to be as transparent as possible with them. You know what I
That's
mean?
right.
You just can't be that old father. Oh, you ain't got date, you ain't that. No, oh, they ain't nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
But you got to let them know that you
This
just
what's
got
gonna
to shoot
happen.
them straight.
Yeah.
You got to shoot them straight. If you try to, you try to, the more you try to deny them, the more they're gonna do it.
Yeah,
But
that's right.
you do have to set boundaries though. And then once you set them boundaries, and, once they cross them, you got to. That's when you put your foot down. But you can't just keep putting your foot down because they gonna do what they gonna do. And ain't
Yeah,
nothing
you
you can
ain't
do about it.
you're not pushing.
You
Yeah.
just got to do that. You know, uh, I joke with my friends. I said I think my #1 goal in life for my daughter is to keep them off strip pole.
That's it, man. That's what we talk about. Hey, I'm telling you. Stay
I mean,
away
it is what it is. You know what
from
There
it.
you go, man.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
It is.
So,
Yeah.
any shout
So,
outs to any former coaches, teammates before we head out?
Players, yeah.
man, Gamecock Nation, man. I mean, I'm a bit stroll around my man cave, man, so y'all can check
All
out
right.
what I'm working with. So I got let
Okay.
y'all see what it is down
MTV3.
here on the
Let's
floor.
see what we got.
That's my
I
that's my
see.
that's my that's my flow right here. Let me give y'all a look. Got my little bar design. I don't know if you can see it. It says Cox, and then it got my number right
I
here
see it.
on here.
Four.
And then I got my World Bowl jersey up here. Got Cleveland Brown over here. I got my little Gamecock. I got what I'm saying. I am I am a Gamecock, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
man. It's in your blood.
I yeah, I would shut my whole Saturday down. You know what I'm saying? I planned my wedding around us playing on Saturday.
What's up, Corey?
So
Yes,
yep.
That's
sir.
what's
Yes, sir. Any
So
message
that
to the world right now? I know we in a global pandemic. Any message to anyone who's going through it? It can be a family member, friend,
man,
loved one.
yeah, man. Some a good message to
man,
keep.
man, I'll say, man, you just think about life, bro. You think about life, you only get one, right? Uh, but even so, if you know anybody struggling with something, man, I promise you, all you need to do is just talk to them, and you ain't got to give them advice. And
Yeah.
most of the time, people just need to get stuff off the chest. I know the pandemic hit, and we done went through this whole another, you know, race relation as far as like racism and everything, man. If everybody, I mean, everybody want to jump out their lane. You know what I mean? But it just depends on what road you want. What road, what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, I'm, again, I don't have a, a like I said earlier, I don't have an enemy in this world. You know what I mean? So if somebody, if, if I hate to say it, if I see you know, a guy with a white hood on the side of the road and he needs some help, guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna help. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
So, uh, it is that's how I am. If somebody want to hurt me because I'm helping them, then you know what? I guess they got problems. But
Yeah,
I'm gonna
that's right.
make sure I take care of myself. I ain't gonna be stupid about the whole situation. But
Oh yeah.
uh, I mean, do what you do, man. Religion wise, if you Muslim, if you Baptist, Methodist, if you atheist, man, just be nice to people, bro. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
man.
Just.
It's so
I
love.
mean, why? I mean, everybody's just so pissed off about everything. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, you
Yeah.
ain't got to
All
go open the door for every person you see, but man, just respect another man, respect a woman, and just respect each other. You know what I mean? So, I know some people feel like some people are beneath them and all this type of stuff. I mean, I don't see it, man. That's who I was. A lot of people, coming out of, high school, I used to hang with band members. You know what I'm saying? And band members like, I can't believe you hanging with me, man. Bro, cool. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? And that's just who I am, man. I would go, I would, go hunting with the countries of the countries, and I'll go to the hood and hang out with my homeboy, man. It's just like, it's that's who I
I'm
am,
cool
man.
with everybody.
You know what I'm saying? I'm cool with everybody, man. I don't care. I mean, I just want to live, I want to love, and I want to stay happy. And
That's
that's
right, man.
what I want to do for the rest of my life. And I want to change lives. That's, I felt like I need to, that's why I'm in this business, what I do, because I just like changing life. I just like to see people. I just like to
Yes,
help people.
sir.
Uh, and that's what I do, man. That's all I want to do.
Well, we appreciate you coming on the show. Great words of encouragement. You had a lot of stories, a lot of great stories. Um, let the people know where they can find your shirts, and also where they can follow you out on social media, get in contact with you if they want to get in shape or if they want to improve their game.
Man, you can contact me. You can Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I'm more on Instagram than just about anything. Facebook. Uh, my name. You just look it up. My name, Corey Bridges, and C4 right behind it. Or you can go Corey Bridges C004 on Twitter, Corey Bridges C4 on Instagram. You can just put my name, Corey Bridges, on in Facebook. You'll see this symbol come up. Follow me. And I'm in Kennesaw, Georgia. My email is Corey at Corey with the E. All right, remember. Yeah, make sure you put that E in there. Corey, Corey at c4-performance.com. You can email me, or you can DM me on Instagram or Facebook. It doesn't matter. I shouldn't be hard to find. Right here in Kennesaw, Georgia, just trying to, make my community, pretty dope.
All right, man. Well, we appreciate it, man.
Appreciate
Make
it,
sure
man.
you
You did a
guys
good job, man.
subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, subscribe and follow us on Spotify and Deezer. We just wrapped up another edition of the Sports Shop 27. I'd like to
Right.
thank my host, Kevin Johnson, KJ, and
Hey,
today's special guest, former SEC track
Yes,
champion,
sir.
former Gamecock wide
hell
receiver, and Cleveland Brown, Minnesota
yeah,
Viking,
man.
and Miami Dolphin, and Chicago Bear wide receiver, Corey Bridges. Oh, yeah,
Bridges.
also CFL world champion.
You know what I mean?
The fastest
Right.
man from Gamecock Nation, 423. We signing out. Shout
That's
out to
right.
C4. Hey, it's not how you
Yes,
start,
sir.
it's how you finish.
That's right.
Make sure
So
you wear
keep
How
your
you
going.
mask.
finish?
We'll see you next
Yes,
time.
sir.
Make sure you guys shop at our
All right,
sports
big
shop
dog.
apparel. Get you some t-shirts, some hoodies, and some hats, some socks. We appreciate
Oh,
you
yeah.
guys tuning in.
Yes,
Have a
sir.
good night. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Thank you,
What's
man.
the score for the South Carolina Georgia game, Corey? What's your prediction?
Oh, we're gonna go 27.
27.
No. 27-38.
27-38.
27-38.
Us.
All
Yep.
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Us.
All right. I'm gonna
Defense
send
gonna
you a
get
text on
look.
Saturday
Defense gonna score
evening.
again. Hey, when we win, I ain't gonna get that text.
All right, big dog. Hey,
Listen, I'll
appreciate you
let you
coming on
know.
the show, man.
Thank you, man. Have a good
All
night,
right,
man.
yes, sir. All right, big dog.
Later.
Peace. Yes, sir.